G'day, Kane. Well bowled, mate. Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Kane, I just wanted, what's your focus for this year with the World Cup? You're a world-class bowler in your own right, but obviously, Australia's got the likes of Stark, Cummins and Hazelwood there. What's your focus, in terms of, being there, I suppose, as a key part of the squad if you need it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a bad line there, guys. I might just swap over Wi-Fi here. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, guys, just bear with us. Hopefully that's a bit better. Benny there?
Yeah, that sounds better, guys, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Kane, I'll go again.
Yeah. No, I got you. I reckon I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I just spoke then, but I think it's about doing enough to stay around this group. Like, taking my personal want to play, I obviously want to play every game, but just to be around this team on the back of the World Cup that we had, not playing but having so much fun being around a group that's playing as well as this. That's basically my goal, is to do enough to stay in the mix, and a lot can happen between now and the start of the World Cup. And I've seen that before, and the last 50 over World Cup, getting called up 2 days before. So I just want to keep trying to get better personally. Whenever I play or train, I'm just trying to do enough to keep getting better and make selection as hard as I can on those guys that you name. They're obviously bigger names, and they're bowling super well. So to just do enough to keep getting better and put my name up for selection if anything happens to those guys.
Thank you, mate.
G'day, Kane. Just a question about, obviously Australia won the World Cup with a particular formula in the UAE. Obviously tonight, the chance to bowl first and chase a target also seemed helpful. But if you look ahead to a World Cup that's in Australia, do you think that formula, both chasing but also the balance of the side, is going to be similar later this year, or do you think it'll have a bit of tweaking?
Oh, there's no doubt it'll be tweaked. I think tonight, Pat Cummins and Adam Zampa out of the team, you're naturally going to shuffle your team a little bit more. As we saw with the batting order as well, we're giving some other guys some opportunities. So I guess that's why I'm playing, and Ash got a game. So I don't know what the formula will be. And we've obviously had a coaching change between the last World Cup and what will be the next one. So I guess the coach will have a major say in that. But I think the formula will be pretty similar to what it was at the World Cup, and we'll try and get overs out of the all-rounders as we do. We know the conditions well. So, I don't know about the chasing thing. It was interesting in the BBL, teams seem to win batting first. So obviously a different competition to international cricket, but there might be something in that. And it'll depend on how much wickets are being used and how tired they are. But I'd say over the course of T20 history, it's always been chasing that seems to be more successful though.
And just one, I suppose with not being able to play at the World Cup, you were there, you got to watch a lot, I suppose, and observe. Why do you think Australia sort of got things together for that World Cup and to win it when, as we know, sort of leading up to that time, I imagine you would have answered quite a lot of questions about why the Australian T20 team hadn't quite got to that level or got it together as such?
Yeah, I think it's an experienced group. So I remember coming in and doing media before, and you'd be asked why you can win, and that was always the one thing that stuck out to me is, I've read some things about how old the squad is and what the average age is, but with that in T20 comes experience, and that always tends to prove to be beneficial. It's one of those things that if you've been in that situation before under pressure, that usually you'll come out better than someone who hasn't. So I think guys who are experienced in their roles, Matthew Wade, Marcus Stoinis batting in the middle order was obviously a huge part of it. Not shying away from winning the toss as well. I think there was obviously a huge benefit in that at the World Cup. But I think the group as a whole was super relaxed. Everyone was just having fun and bought into what they were doing. And that's also, that breeds pretty good T20 cricket. So I think it was a combination of different factors, and it was kind of a perfect storm in the end. But I think out of that, we'll take great confidence knowing that we can do it leading into a World Cup in our home conditions.
And just lastly for me, obviously international cricket is different to BBL, as you mentioned earlier, but is there anything to take from the fact that you had Andrew and Aaron working together at the Renegades when you guys won the tournament a few years ago, and I suppose, those guys working in concert, certainly for this series, if not beyond that?
Yeah, I mean, Andrew's been kind of bowling coach for a while now, almost 2 years. So he's someone I work really well with, and he breaks the game down quite simply. And he's someone I like communicating with. On the back of, the other night, I didn't bowl my best. So he's the first person I'll go to give feedback on it, because I trust him and I know that basically he has a really good read of T20 cricket. So he summed it up really well before the game for me today. And yeah, with Finchy on field, there's obviously a natural chemistry there through him being Renegades captain of me for the last kind of 5 years. So it's always nice having familiar voices and faces and guys who know what your strengths are. And it always helps as a captain because they have confidence in you in what fields you set and what you're going to bowl. And I think as a T20 bowler, that's kind of half the battle.
Thank you.
Ben Horn.
Kane, I was just wondering, was it a major disappointment for you to, not get a look in there at the IPL auction, and just also on Adam Zampa, and just I suppose the surprise in him not getting picked up after the World Cup he had.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely more shocked for him. I think, look, to be brutally honest, when we left last year in the circumstances early, I remember having a conversation with him. I said to him, look, this may come back and bite us. And at that time, we didn't, it wasn't a priority for us to be there. We wanted to get back to Australia. So I think there'd be some kind of buyers, they'd be pretty wary of picking us up, thinking that we wouldn't come again. I definitely think that's a factor. There's probably some luck in where you come out in the auction as well. So there would be some factors in that. But for me, no, it wouldn't be disappointment. I mean, anytime you get picked up is great, but I also tend to like getting away from the game for a bit, especially at the end of a summer. So would have been nice to go, but there's always other things to do in Australia to keep preparing for the World Cup coming up, which is really the end goal, more so than the IPL.
Does it feel a bit harsh to be judged on that, Kane, given you guys might have been one of the first to leave, but within a few days, basically the whole competition was shut off?
Look, I'm just speaking on what I think would be a factor in it. I don't know. I've never had dialogue with a franchise or a person that says that's what would be the case. But I think, I didn't go the year before as well with the birth of, my boy. So, my reputation probably is that I tend to in the last couple of years, I haven't gone. So it's obviously not something that I am. I try and play as much cricket as I can, but I think the circumstances in the last couple of IPLs have made me not go, but it's not a reputation I want. So that's just us brainstorming. I think that would be a point of them being wary of us turning up. But I'm not 100% sure. That's just kind of us, what we were thinking.
Thanks, mate. Dan Cherny.
Oh, g'day, Kane. Congratulations. Just, you touch on turning up. Are you expecting to be in Pakistan, and what does the rest of the year look like for you ahead of the World Cup?
We haven't been told about selection for the white ball component of Pakistan. So I know George Bailey was around the last few days, so no doubt he's sitting down with relevant people to pick that. So yeah, I'm all in to play for Australia. I've said that kind of on the back of leading into the World Cup. That's my priority going forward now at my age, is to try and play as much as I can for this team. So no doubt that'll be a tour I want to get on, and I want to play one-day cricket as well. It's not just T20 cricket. I don't want to be a kind of specialist. I want to try and play as much as I can for Australia. So see what selection, see what happens there, and kind of take it from there. But otherwise, I'll finish the summer off and enjoy a break.
Louis just snuck in late there. So Louis, last one, mate.
Yeah, sorry, Kane, and I missed the start of this press conference, so apologies if you've already been asked this, mate. But just with that ball Mitch Starc bowled that obviously kind of slipped out of his hand, I mean, was it a bit kind of slippery out there? Did you have a bit of sympathy for him?
Oh, yeah, always. I mean, I know everyone's done it, first of all. As a bowler, everyone's been there. So, awful feeling. It was greasing up a little bit, especially once the sun went down. It was, I think the wicket definitely changed. That's always the best indicator of, it was a tiny bit slower when the sun was out. And then once the sun went down, it greased up a little bit and it slid on. So, it was obviously a slow ball that went wrong. That, as I said, happens to everyone. But he, besides that, executed beautifully tonight. So no doubt there's certain people that will focus on that, but we all know what Mitchell Starc is about. We all know how good he is. So in T20 cricket, kind of stuff like that kind of happens. You're best deleting it from the memory and just moving on. And as I said, we all know how good that man is. So I'm sure he's not too bothered.
Thanks, Louis, and thanks to Kane Richardson for joining us tonight, guys. If anyone wants to hold the line, I'll go grab Ash shortly.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kane.
Cheers.